I'm Duncan from New Zealand. I'm in Brussels now. I've lived here for 3 or 2 months. I moved here from the countryside in New Zealand, from a small town in the South Islands. I moved here because I met a girl and I fell in love. And now I live in a whole new city with a visa to work and stay. And it is very different because Brussels is very nice. It is probably the most diverse city I have ever been in. Wherever you go, there's so many different accents and languages. You hear people speaking languages from all over Europe and everywhere else from the world. I mean, I'm from New Zealand and that's a whole culture shock, especially because in New Zealand, we just speak English. We have a native language, but it's not spoken like they speak French here. And that's something that really drew me to Europe, because I want to learn more languages and I want to be able to submerge myself in new cultures, different foods, different people, different ways of expression and communicating. People here are very different in the way they communicate. In New Zealand, and I can't exactly speak to the cities in New Zealand, but for the most part it feels like a big family. Everyone feels very approachable. No one's really surprised or caught off guard when you come up and ask them a random question or a random comment or remark. They're very open to that. And everyone here is very friendly as well. Most people speak English, so I can approach most people. And when I approach people, they are often surprised, but when they warm up with me and recognize that I'm genuinely curious or querying them on something that I would like to know, they are very open and often they are quite inviting to my presence, which is nice. The seasons here are also very different. It's autumn now in Europe, and in New Zealand it's spring. So it's completely opposite seasons because of the hemispheres. Autumn here, you lose all the leaves from the trees and the leaves turn orange and yellow. It's very pretty. I think it's much more pretty than the autumn in New Zealand. In New Zealand, the trees don't change colour because they're all non-deciduous. And the winters here are much colder. In Europe, you have to wear a jacket because it gets into the negatives and sometimes it even snows. In New Zealand, you get snow in the mountains, but down at ocean level where I live, you can get by with shorts for the whole year and it's fine. And the summers are similar. It's very sunny in New Zealand through the summers and it gets quite hot into the late 30s sometimes. So it's obviously a big country you swim in, the rivers and the ocean. Over here it gets hot as well, but in Brussels there's not as much access to cool off with a swim. So I never really felt like New Zealand fitted me so much, and I wanted to find the place, the location that would suit me more, that I could live more permanently. So this world travel that I'm doing, especially amongst Europe, is just to find this place, to find the right country and culture and language for me, somewhere that will suit me a bit more than New Zealand, because I love New Zealand.
And I love going back there in the summer when it's warm, seeing my family, and then everyone's so friendly and inviting. It's just not the place for me long term. So being in Brussels is also figuring out if it's somewhere that I can see myself long term. I don't think I could be here long term. I do love it. I would definitely spend lots more time coming back to Brussels. And people are very friendly here. I just wouldn't spend the long term in Brussels.